I'm pretty pleased, and I'm here with Jose Raymond, and we are at Potong Pasir right now. So I'm gonna take off my mask. So we're gonna sit here and I'm gonna ask you some questions from Instagram Live. Nobody asked. Nobody asked. Literally nobody asked it. So quite a lot of people sent any questions for you to answer today, and this is a super last minute. Like last night at 3 a.m. I was like, actually, do you think we can do an Instagram Live? Because I really thought about how I really thought about how Jose needs to win, man. Like, have you read all the things that he's been saying online and the manifestos? Have you read everything? Because I feel so strongly about this. I don't live anywhere near Potong Pasir, so I'm like, I gotta do my part. So my part is on Instagram for y'all to see this live and ask him anything y'all wanna ask and anything you need to know before you head to the polls on Friday. So how have you been?
I've been tired out. I've been running around a lot. I've been trying to meet as many people as possible over the 9-day period, just to reinforce the messages, to get the name out, trying to cover new ground which came under the Potong Pasir SMC after the boundaries were cut. Running around with my team and we've been visiting as many blocks as possible, knocking on doors, reinforcing our messages. So it's been fun actually.
So actually, what's your relationship with Potong Pasir?
Potong Pasir and I have got an interesting long-term relationship.
I'm going to go closer. Sound is quite bad.
Yeah.
So in 1984, when Mr. Chiam Sitong was elected to office, I was at the counting centre at Westlake Secondary School. That was my birthday present because my father brought me to the counting centre as opposed to having me have a birthday cake. But it was an interesting night when I watched Mr. Chiam Sitong get elected to office, and after that in 1988 my father became a volunteer for Mr. Chiam Sitong, and at the 1988 general elections I was helping deliver manifestos in Potong Pasir, through Senate Estate and even in Potong Pasir. So Potong Pasir is pretty much a familiar ground for me. In 1990, when my family had a bit of problems, my father couldn't hold down a job and we lost our home. We didn't have enough money to downgrade to a smaller place, and Mr. Chiam actually paid for the deposit. So when 26 years on, I am back here in Potong Pasir trying to extend that legacy.
Yeah, I love how it's coming full circle.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think a fun question that I want to ask is, what's one must-try food recommendation here in Potong Pasir?
Okay, so we got to speak much louder.
Okay.
There is no one must-try food. Let me say this again. You need to try Uncle Sim's Mee Siam and Lontong at Block 136. You gotta try the Chwee Kueh and the Chee Chong Fun at Block 137. You gotta try the chicken rice at Block 146. You have also got to try the Ota Ota back in Block 120. There's actually a lot of food here in Potong Pasir which you need to come by and try. So please come and help out our hawkers who are working their asses off.
So some people on Instagram have asked, like, what are some issues that you would raise in Parliament?
There's lots of stuff which needs to be raised in Parliament. At a national level, I think we need to try to bring up issues involving wage depression, wage inequality, cost of living matters, the least decay of our HDB homes, in the sense that the older our homes get, the more that they will lose their value. We also need to talk about mental health wellness, whether or not our people need mental health wellness programs. We also need to talk about climate change, which is a very important factor for us to think about. And I'm quite surprised that throughout this entire 9-day campaign, no one seems to be talking about all of this.
Yeah, I think another question we got is, like, what is something that young adults of Potong Pasir can look forward to if you're like that?
Young adults of Potong Pasir can look forward to having a digitized Potong Pasir. One of the plans which I have is to digitize the entire programming for Potong Pasir so that everything which you'll be able to get online. Whether or not you need to meet the MP, whether or not you need to meet and have a conversation with me, filing your appeal, everything can be done online. This is the way to go forward. This is the way forward. And we got to figure out how we can actually move towards the future and not harp on to things from the past.
What a relief. I think everyone's gonna be so happy to hear that, because one of the biggest pet peeves is probably like the waiting for like any updates, or waiting for emails, waiting for calls, being put on hold. So I think going online would be like the best thing.
Yes, it's one of the programs which I thought about, which we need to introduce here, and it's already been ongoing. I started started my website a couple of months back and started a Get Help tab on the website at potongpasirhosay.sg, and residents who need who need to file their appeals can just send me their appeals online. It all lands in my inbox, my personal email.
Nice. Yeah, so I think something else people want to know is, because you mentioned about mental health earlier on, so of course this rush election has been really intense, and I think there's a lot of pressure put on all the candidates. So I want to ask you, like, what have you been doing to take care of your own mental health?
I'm very, very lucky that I've got an extremely wonderfully team of volunteers who have been there to make sure that I'm looked after. You know, sometimes, you know, when they see that I'm getting a bit tensed up, they ask me to take a seat and have a bottle of water. Even last night we were trying to finish off like 10 blocks of flats, knocking on doors. One of them said, "Jose, I think you gotta take it easy for a bit," and then we crack jokes, and then we talk about when we can actually have our next drink together. So, and when we're driving from point to point, we're cracking rubbish jokes in the car.
Nice. Yeah, it's good to be around like people that you can just like have so much fun with. It doesn't work doesn't feel like work. You know, you're meeting amazing people, talking to them all the time. So
yeah, and can you imagine? I've got like maybe 6 hours more before I got to stop campaigning. I'm sitting down here and having a good laugh with all of you.
Thank you. By the way, today
so can you imagine? You know what's running through my mind? Actually, I'm just thinking, I gotta do this and have a bit of fun, right? So here I am, 6 hours ago before campaigning ends. I'm here talking to the two of you. That's crazy.
Are there any questions coming from Instagram Live that we can ask?
Well, Instagram is saying that you got to try the soya bean curd. There's also around here.
Okay.
And they're very happy to see you. Jose, they're very happy to see you.
Yeah. I think another fun question we have is, are you a cat or a dog person? Someone has asked that.
I actually have got 2 dogs. So I've got both were rescued. So I look after both of them. One of them was rescued just a couple of months back from Voices for Animals. So Schnauzer was 7 years old. So I'm pretty much a dog person. But I've been told that cats kind of like me too, which is why I take lots of photos with cats.
Cats like him.
So I've actually, sometimes when I'm doing my neighborhood, trawling through a neighborhood, knocking on doors, I've got lots of cats, and I try to go close to them and pet them, and they don't run away, and I take photos with them. So 2 things I've learned about, doing groundwork: always be friendly to the dogs and cats. People love them.
So someone says, I love that you're continuing the Chiam Si Tong legacy in Potong Pasir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, it's I actually do believe that despite our political differences, there's only one Singapore we fight for, and all of us need to fight under the same flag, i.e. the Singapore flag. That's something which I believe in very strongly.
What's some advice you might have for any young people out there who might want to go into politics in the future?
There is no better time than now, but you must have a very thick skin. You must have a very thick skin, because in politics, if you do not have a thick skin, you're gonna get burnt. So.
Yeah, so we have Wisan who just joined this moment. So that's Wisan, my intern.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I was like thinking whether the person was waiting for my autograph or something.
No, he is.
Okay. Because I had that yesterday. People were asking for my autograph, which is a completely new thing to me, and I'm not really sure whether I deserve this, but actually my whole reason for doing this is just want to help people, and I see a lot of relief in which we can bring to people's lives. If they're just there to help them and bring joy to their lives. So.
And I think another question that a lot of my followers really want me to ask you. So a lot of them are from the LGBTQ community, and I think they want me to ask you, like, what are your thoughts on 3778? When do you think Singapore might be ready to repeal it?
I've asked this question quite a bit, especially from some residents in the estate as well. And my response is this: the party doesn't have any position on the matter, but I do. My position is, I stand for no discrimination of any sort, and if there's anyone who is discriminated against, they need to speak out and they need to come to me for help. And I will help them.
Yeah, I think the first step is always to stand against discrimination, speak up, and doing that's so important. So thank you for even saying that. I think a lot of people out there will really be happy to hear that.
It's something which I believe in, and if it's no point for us getting involved in not taking a position on something.
Yeah.
That's my personal position.
So today is pretty much like the last day of campaigning. You mentioned 6 hours left. So what is one thing you want to say to all the first-time voters out there?
The future of Singapore depends on all of you. So please think about it, and if you really have a choice to make, don't forget, tell your parents about it too, because it's what you want. It's not about what it's about your future, and you gotta tell your parents that this is the kind of future you want, and you gotta vote this way. I don't want to tell you how to vote, but that's the decision which you have to make.
I That's super important. Like I'm a first time voter as well. Wisan's a first time voter as well. So I think Wisan can't vote yet. Actually, he missed it by 1 month. So we were talking about how like he was telling us how he's gonna like talk to his parents, you know, and tell them all these things. So a life hack that I've learned from Wisan is if your parents don't want to listen to you and you want to really tell them who they might be voting for instead, maybe you can tell them that you have a friend who will help you with your school homework before, who works for their political party, because that's what Wisan did. So his parents are going to be voting for whoever that helps him lah. So that's exactly what we're trying to do, you know, like it's to help the future generations, and the vote really matters for all of us out there. Yes.
We have a question from Instagram. So how can we ensure that the digitized Potong Pasir doesn't leave behind the elderly or those who don't have access?
That's a very good question. Residents who don't have access will still continue to have access to me any time of the day, and I will continue to do my blog visits, you know, and I'll be diligent about it because I have been, and because I believe that the only way to find out and know about your community is through knocking on doors, and that's the only way you find out what is exactly hurting the community.
And I think the best question that I received on Instagram is, how will you celebrate when you win?
I noticed that you said when.
I mean, that's what the question says.
I don't know what's going to be the end result, but all I know is I need to make sure that my volunteers who will be helping me out are all given a good meal and a good drink, because I think they all deserve it.
Let's hope. I can't wait for that moment. I really hope like we get to see that on Friday, and all the best for this.
Thank you so much.
GD. Thank you for taking the time to do this today on such an important day. And yeah, I hope to see you in Parliament because your voice is so important, and I love everything that you've had to say. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Potong Pasir Hosay!